I went to the dark zone several times because I used to stay in the dark zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into Hamish, however you
Ran
say it.
into him in the DZ?
Ran into him in the DZ.
Really?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
He was in there using the DPS glitch.
Hostile broadcast picked up.
Today's guest, we got us Agent Professor to be precise. And this guy has done all the TD2 grind you can do. He knows anything and everything about the game. Did you do TD1?
Yes, as a day one player on both
Day
games,
one?
TD1
Okay.
and TD2.
Yeah, you fell for that trailer that
Yeah,
they
I fell for the
launched.
trailer and was
Yeah.
very disappointed. Yeah,
Yeah.
very disappointed.
Hey, so you got us a story you like to tell what in the
Yeah. I mean, if this goes back several months. It goes back to the start of the pandemic, actually, which is kind of
that's
kind of ironic. Yeah. So this actually goes back to when COVID first hit, and plus was kind of going along with what the game's about. So everybody remembers the DPS glitch that went out in the Division 2 EK1 gaming. I'm going to break him up in this. He started talking about it on his little live stream and stuff of that nature. Sco's shaking his head already, but yeah, this is kind of a funny story. Everybody was talking about, this thing works. You can run through these missions. You can do unlimited amount of damage and all that stuff, And of course, I'm not one to use any glitches. I've never actually glitched much in this game, period, at all.
Right.
I did exploit some glitches in the first game by glitching outside of the wall and finding things they promised they never gave us, in which that's what Massive to me will always be known as. They'll promise you the world and give you nothing and take your money and run. So, I mean, just point blank, for example, the Division 1, you was promised Central Park. Well, I was one of the first people to glitch out in an exploit in DZ9 and went out and found several other missions that are not in the game and 6 world bosses that are not that you cannot actually kill, but they are standing there and can kill you.
I remember hearing that glitch in the DZ9.
Yeah, well, you used to be able to take a little shield and you could glitch out. They patched it in the missions, but they didn't patch it back there at the back until later on.
It was at the gates, right? At the border, at the top of DZ9. Yeah.
Yes, gates top of DZ9. You can go ahead and set it down and glitch out. Well, I was one of those. I didn't actually post it or anything like that, but I went out there and I took several friends of mine with me and exploited all that and showed that. And they promised that. There's even exits to get out there, but they never gave it to us. But that's irrelevant compared to this. They was talking about all the glitches and stuff, the DPS glitch, and how players was ruining the game.
Right.
So I decided to try it out one day. So I went out. I walked up to a turret, done the thing. Got my DPS way up there, walked outside, shot a world boss one time.
Uh-huh.
Now, at this point, I had just quit playing the game, was fed up with it because of all the changes they were trying to come out with. They kind of messed it up by removing all the talents on all the pieces to where it kind of makes it a one build show. Now, it's a one-trick pony.
Right.
You don't have one build, you don't have nothing. At that point in time, you could make it any build you wanted to. So that was another mistake that they put in. But we went out. I shot the world boss in front of the White House one time.
Okay, South Lawn.
Yeah, South Lawn. Matter of fact, it was one of the Outcast bosses. I remember it very well. Don't remember the name. But shot him one time and killed him with one hit. And I was like, it worked. So we went over and ran bank headquarters 3 times. Just to see how well it would work.
So less than an hour.
Less than an hour. I didn't even do the glitch it's probably about 30 minutes, to be honest with you, because that's a fast mission, and that made it even faster.
Right.
So I went over, we done that mission about 3 times, come back out, chilled, and the next thing I know, I'm getting banned.
How soon after?
It was when they released the ban. They said that they was going to ban people. They notified everybody roughly after the glitch had been out for 2 weeks, and they patched it 3 times because you notice there was like a lot of patches throughout the week where your game would shut down. They patched it about 3 or 4 times during the week, and then made a statement that they were looking at doing 2-week temporary bans on everybody that used the glitch. Well, I talked to several hundred people that had done the glitch. And at that time I was in a clan. It was ESG. And I knew that over 3/4 of the people in that clan had used the glitch, and the rest of them wasn't even playing the game.
Right.
It was already burned out on it, and
Yep.
everybody in that clan was using it.
Uh-huh.
3 guys that I ran with exploited it quite a bit. I didn't run with them all the time, but I did run with them enough to know that they were still running it, and they ran everything they could possibly run. But I was not involved. I just kind of chilled out and just done the normal thing. I was part of the 3-hour legendary clears, all that.
I heard about that shit.
Yeah, it was 3-hour legendary clears. It wasn't no simple walk in the park, go in there and do it. And then you see people run there doing it in like 8, 10, 15 minutes with the DPS glitch, and you're like, how? And of course that's what they're doing is the DPS glitch. And so they hit me with a ban.
Did you get anything? Did you get an exotic or anything using the ban?
I got a couple of exotics throughout my grinding during that time. I got several. I had 3 lady deaths probably. I remember that. The troubling part of the whole thing is that I got my first god rolled perfect glass cannon. At that time, it was a hot thing.
Uh-huh.
And I see Sco taking a deep breath because he's yet to get one unless he's optimized it. And I had a gift. I had both the Providence pieces that were god roll named. And I was like, all right, I'm doing all right. I ain't got to worry about it. Only done the glitch once. Nothing to fear. Nothing to worry about. Yada, yada, yada. Well, about 3 weeks after they announced it, I got hit with a ban. All right, I started playing this game again on the 15th. And I think at this time it was the 15th of March. I think that's when the ban went out.
Hey, the 1-year anniversary.
The 1-year anniversary. The ban went out on the 15th of March. They were supposed to reset everybody back to the 17th. The gear that was given to me by a couple of good friends of mine, because they already had them, they gave to me on the 15th. I was still a level 30 character. They gave me level 40 gear, and they gave me a god rolled glass cannon and a god rolled gift.
Yeah.
I was pretty well happy because they wanted me to come back and start raiding with them again. I was like, sure, I'll do it.
Right.
I came back, I lost it, and got pretty ticked off. Well, I called. This is the second half of the story.
Yep.
I called.
This gets juicy.
Yeah, exactly. Say the name again. I want it loud and clear.
I said this gets juicy.
Oh, this gets juicy. I thought she's gonna. I'm gonna call him the fat German. That's what I'm going to refer to him as because I can't stand him.
Oh, right. The lawyer guy.
I called over to the UK to speak, or not UK, but I called Sweden.
Right.
To speak to these guys. Well, I found out that I had to wait to 3 o'clock in the morning to do this.
Yeah.
Well, during this glitch, when this glitch was going on, I went to the dark zone several times because I used to stay in the dark zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into Hamish.
Ran into him in the DZ?
Ran into him in the DZ.
Really?
Yep. He was in there using the DPS glitch. They were talking about the DPS glitch. He was in there using it against other players and exploiting the glitch himself.
Hamish.
Hamish.
The one with the sleeve always on the right.
The little gay guy that walks around the sleeve. He's got the little disease. I show no respect to these people because I hate stand-up. Right. The only reason why I play the dang game is because it's the only game you can do builds in.
Hey, speak your voice, man.
Yeah, speaking my opinion. So I go in there. There he is using the glitch. He one-shot several people that was in there, and I'm sitting there like, all right. And I had actually at that time had video footage of him doing this.
Damn, you did?
I did.
Where is it?
I sent this to Chris. I don't have it now because
Who's Chris?
The fat German.
Oh, okay.
The fat German.
You sent it to him.
Huh?
Damn it. You sent it to him.
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I sent it to him in an email. I attached it to a file, sent it into the massive complaint line that they have.
Uh-huh.
So when you have a problem, you send it in. They said, send us the footage. I sent the footage.
Uh-huh.
He never got reset, never got banned. So when I finally got in touch with the fat German, I sit there and I was like, yo, man. I'm like, you banned me. I've done this glitch one time for no longer than an hour. We come in here. I run a couple of missions. Nothing with anybody other than clan members of my own. And I'm sitting here and I find your boy doing this. He's still playing the game. You won't do nothing to him. I sent the video to you guys, like requested, You take all my stuff away from me, and I just come back to playing this game. You reset me back to the 15th. 17th was the day you were supposed to take it back to.
Right.
Wasn't really aggravated about getting banned. It was just the fact that, hey, look, it happened at two of the worst points of time. Number one, you were stuck indoors because of the pandemic. Correct? You couldn't go nowhere. Massive drops a bomb on everybody and freaking shuts everything down. Nobody can go anywhere, do anything. So Massive, being the pricks they are, decide to ban people.
Hold up, that ban was at the beginning of COVID?
Yes.
Oh shit, we were all quarantined?
We were all quarantined.
No.
Yes, everybody was quarantined.
Oh shit.
Everybody was quarantined sitting in the house. Nobody could really go much anywhere. So they dropped this massive ban. Well, I called him. I bet I called him 6 times that whole week, the first week of the ban. People's like, oh, you can't get the number. The number's not listed. Yeah, it's a funky number. And I'll post it on here in just a few minutes and put it in the chat. I'll show you the number. You can go on, you call them, you press 0, you talk to an operator. The operator will sit there and kind of give you the runaround. And I'm like, look, I'm calling you from the United States. I'm calling you from Virginia. And, look, this is costing me 50 cents a minute. I'll talk to you. And I am sitting here trying to plead my case. And they said, if we had any problems, to call this number. So I called this number. Gave my statements, provided all the details of everything that happened, showed them I had gameplay footage and everything, and be running every mission at that time. And they left it on there. It said that I wrote the game for other people if they wasn't worried about day one players, and that the only thing they were concerned about was new and incoming players, and that we run it for the new and incoming players, and left me banned.
Wow.
So I called out their little pencil boy right there, Hamish, poster boy for birth control, poster child for birth control, I should say. And yeah, they just sit there and stutter. I sent them numerous messages. Then they blocked me on every social media account. I can no longer contact Massive, and I'm still perma-blocked.
Jesus.
So no matter what I've done, no matter what I do, I've sent it from multiple emails. They have blocked me on every one of those resources.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my juicy little story.
I can't believe you showed evidence of one of theirs.
Yes. And the thing is,
they're taking it to PvP. PvE. All right.
They should have left it. Exactly. They shouldn't have even touched nobody that done it in PvE. What was you running for PvE? Because they was already overpowered NPCs that you couldn't go in and do anything with. No matter what build you ran, the only thing you had a chance with was glass cannon. You took one shot, you were down. Yeah. Then you go into PvP. Now I could see banning people that done it in PvP.
Yeah,
turn around. Here's the bad part. Here's the bad part. You turn around 3 months later, and you got people there doing the infinite armor glitch. They didn't ban nobody for that. Infinite armor glitch. There was something you could do with a shield. And it gave you infinite armor, and you could run around with a shotgun and infinite armor and never take any damage, and just sit there and shoot. No problem at all.
There was no ban from that one?
There was no ban for that. There was no ban for the people that glitched into the new raid at that time, which was Ironhorse. They didn't ban those guys that came in, and they was people that already had the exotic before the rest of us had the exotic. And also they done the glitch. So you tell me who got treated fairly on that.
Right.
So I was already at shade level at that time, 876, and I got reset back to 0.
Yeesh.
Even the Warhound glitch, they didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything for the Warhound glitch either. No, there was nothing about the Warhound glitch. There was nothing about any other glitch in the game. They just banned you for the DPS glitch, in which was their own fault, and it was an exploit that even they were using.
Yeah, they
were even using it.
That's hypocritical,
they banned
man.
us. And then the thing is, to beat it all, they said they banned everyone that done it, correct? Wrong.
No.
Wrong. Hamish didn't get banned, and I know of at least 1,000 other players that did not get banned for doing the glitch, and they done the glitch more than I did.
Right.
And I only done it for roughly about an hour. And a lot of other people done it for days. The entire time it was out. Every time EK1 would post a new video, these guys was doing the glitch.
Hold up. He was making videos with it, and he didn't get banned?
Who? EK got banned.
Oh, EK. Oh, okay.
Yeah, EK got banned, but then you got Wids and some of the others that didn't, there was a lot of stuff thrown around about this, and there was video proof that they were doing the glitch.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
let's
they were
get
They were 4-man in dark hours on normal.
Yeah. So let's
Yeah.
get to a point that Massive didn't do anything at all.
Yeah.
The Warhound.
Right.
And also, you see, if you go on the leaderboards or maybe you go to the base of operation and
Yes.
you just sit there, you're going to see a bunch of agents level 80,000.
Yes.
You sit there.
What?
Yeah, you sit
Yeah.
there.
I played with
And
the
you look
guy
at his
today that
level.
was level 10,319.
You look at this level and you're like, if you do it the legit way of leveling and grinding, like how it's supposed to, 5 directives, heroic,
Yeah.
in a certain location,
Yeah. 2
you
locations.
probably get maybe like 100 levels, depending, like how your grind is.
My best day doing it right there was 126 levels
In one day.
in one day.
How long was that session?
That session was me and Sco, and I think we was in there for what, Sco? 8 hours?
Yeah, 8 hours.
Ooh,
8
that
hours.
was grind. And that was
Yeah.
120.
Yeah,
versus
120 levels. That's the
versus
best I could do.
somebody
And
level 10,000.
yeah,
above.
I played with somebody today that was level 10,373.
That's legit.
And
I
I
don't
met a
think
guy.
so.
I met a guy the other day that was level 19,000.
Jesus.
So and these people, who knows how they done it? Who knows what they done?
Maybe they got lucky.
Yeah, they've got some massive levels, and I grinded to get my stuff back, and I quit playing several times. And
Nothing pisses you off more on a looter shooter
Yes.
than having the fucking reset.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
And not only that, also the whole thing of talking about increasing 10 more levels to your agent, 40 to 50, that kills your game.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that this year.
They had 3 things. They got 3 things that they want to do to this game, and this is no joke. They can say they want to make it better. They can say they want to make it whatever, but all they're doing is actually destroying their game by increasing the levels. If they want to make the game better,
balance.
Don't nerf anything. Quit nerfing everything for your whole. Oh, that's my answer to this is nerf. Hey, look, follow the concepts of other games put out by Ubisoft. For example, look at Breakpoint. I played it just a little bit. That's more of a realistic thing. One shot with the sniper rifle, you're dead. Should be the same way in this game here.
Headshots count.
Headshots count no matter what the weapon is.
Mm-hmm.
If you play some of the other games that's put out in the past, headshots count, but you got what I call catering to the pussy. And then you have, you have these guys that whine and cry and complain. Well, I got down to the dark zone. That's the reason why I quit going to the dark zone.
Yeah,
dark zone. You go in there as soon as you beat one of their players. And I don't care to admit it. Some of the YouTubers they have that they love and cherish so dearly. If you down one of those guys with their exact build, they will go in there and nerf those weapons in that build to the ground. If you go look at what some of the top builds in the game do right now, for example, Intimidate and Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush doesn't work like it used to because one of their YouTubers got downed. One of their YouTubers' teams got beat by a bunch of players that play the game, not to go in there and try to make money from the game and beat them. And they whined and cried and complained, or one of their developers who never plays the game decides he wants to go to the BZ and farm for something, gets killed, and then he cries. And so they'll nerf it. I mean, it happens. That's what happened in Division 1. Division 1, they're following the same concepts. They said they learned from mistakes in the past. They didn't learn anything. If they learned anything, it's how to get their money from you, and then you love the game.
Oh, I got a nice odds for us.
What's that?
We got content coming 2021, right? They just announced it. Odds over under, or yes or no? Do they throw in an apparel event and then make it even more challenging? If they were, do you think there's going to be a crossover apparel event? Because this Resident Evil was such a hit. Try to name the next game they cross over. I'm going to make my odds, set it at Assassin's Creed. Next one.
Assassin's Creed. I was getting ready to say Assassin's Creed because it's a Ubisoft-based game. I would probably go with Assassin's Creed, but which one of the Assassin's Creeds would you cross over with? I'm going to say, I'll say Valhalla.
Oh, that would be badass.
I'll go with Valhalla. Valhalla
Makes
or
the most
Odyssey.
sense. It's the newest one, right?
Yeah, well, Valhalla and Odyssey. I would go with either one of those.
Yeah. How old is that series now?
Well, that series is, let's see here.
Might be a
PlayStation
20-year
3.
anniversary coming. No.
Well, no. It would only be like 10, 15 years.
15
10 years.
maybe.
10, because the first Assassin's Creed was on PlayStation 3. So, and PlayStation 3 was released in about 09. So, well, actually 08.
Yeah, it could be. Well, it won't be a 15-year though.
No.
What do you think, Anubis? Another crossover? Is this a new trend?
I'm going to make a statement right here. I don't believe there'll be another crossover event at all.
You don't think so?
I think what they'll do, they'll probably put it on. They'll probably add some stuff from Division 1 to this game because people are complaining quite a bit about the Dark Zone.
So you think this is a big update coming?
The rumor mill circulating around, and I've talked to a lot of old players, is that they'll bring the Division 1 Dark Zone back. Now, if they do that, that might help, but if they
Put
keep
it in
everything
New York
as is now, you're not going to have anything. That's probably their next big update, and then after that, it'll just be on maintenance mode like Division 1 is now.
Right.
Rinse and repeat, because that would make more sense. They don't have to spend any money on that, and they're already done spending money on this game. They wouldn't have.
Well, thanks for Agent Professor joining with us with his lovely stories of the Division 2 and his interactions with Massive. I can't say we all speak like that to you, but he kind of had a point. If he met Hamish in the DZ using the glitch, I don't know how he could tell. Maybe he was insta downing people, but it's kind of hypocritical in my book. And the reason we just cut out and we're going to see a big edit is we had the 4 windows up and I don't have premium, so we ran out of time, unfortunately. So thanks to Agent Professor for joining us. We appreciate the stories and maybe have him on another time. See how his calendar is available in the future. But now it's back to me and Anubis, and we're just going to recap on what this story he was saying with all the glitches and all the exploits. Where was he at anyway? I freaked out and panicked when we cut out.
Yeah, I think most of with the whole thing shutting down, I think we all got a little bit sidetracked and lost for a moment. We all got to the point that we were talking about, the dark zone. How players don't want to go in there.
Oh yeah,
due to what happened with the glitches, players being
Small
like
DZ.
super aggressive, this and that. But this is the thing. People still have to keep it in mind. The dark zone has always been like that. You go in there, it's a gamble, it's a risk.
Yeah.
You go in there, you want to get an item out of there, you gotta take the risk that you're gonna have NPCs shooting at you. You're gonna have players multi-grouping on you. They're gonna use
extraction.
Exactly. They're gonna do the impossible, make you not extract what you want, or get like, for example, there are players out there that just go in there and just beat you down, grab your item, deconstruct, and laugh at you. That's their thing. That's like what makes them happy.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad about it. You can't call out Massive about that one because that's just part of the game.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of the DZ. There's no rules, no holds barred.
Yeah, no rules. Someone gives you crap about it, and you just ignore them. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Don't be a dick. Don't be that dick though. Just a side note.
Yeah. Getting back into the topic with Agent Professor. I love the stories. We don't have physical proof. We just got his word, and he has his emails and whatnot. Which
he said he had the video and sent it to who?
He sent it to the.
Is he saying
Fat Russian?
The German? Is that
the German? Yeah.
Is he referring to Johan?
I think so.
The one who speaks like a lawyer on the state of the games?
Yeah.
Making sure Hamish doesn't spill too much.
Yeah, that he's always He's always saying, if you guys have a problem, send us a feedback. We'll get
Uh-huh.
back to you. And
Yeah.
yeah, just keep posting more feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's Johan.
Yeah. Um,
I wonder what Johan did with that footage.
I don't know, but if there are, I think there are players out there that they do have some type of source or some type of information that can really, really make a huge dent on Massive. But you know how it is. When there's sometimes some companies, they're like, hey, we'll do this for you, but you have to do
Scratch my
something.
back. You
Yeah.
scratch yours.
Yeah. They keep it on the low. It's like, we'll sponsor you, but keep it on the low.
Yeah.
Some players, when they see it's not enough, they start doing what they're doing, which what happened with the raids.
Oh yeah,
But
when they leaked like, yo, we got fed this shit. We had a
yeah.
code.
And like also what they did with the EPS glitch exploits. Like I understand, like you're a game creator, you do what you have to do in your game, but once one thing that's gonna make a huge impact to your game gets leaked out and it gets abused, it it puts a lot of doubt in your community, and also it just gets to a point players just don't find the game fun anymore.
Nope.
It's like I get it. You get one tapped in a game and you're like, what the fuck? But when you realize what weapon the player is using, it's a little bit different. But if he's using a pistol and he one taps you with a pistol, doesn't make any sense.
Chances are.
It's really low. It's
Yeah.
really low. But it's just gotten to the point that uh massive. I get it. You guys now are doing new thing.
Dude,
You
isn't
got
that
all
confusing though? That they admit on this tweet last week, they admitted 12.1 was the last big title update. And yet
yeah.
now we got information that we're getting future content in the year 2021. And I'm
Well,
not saying I'm expecting it within the next quarter year. I bet you it's 6 months down the line because it's going to be that big hitter. I bet they're going to try to drop something big for us so they can tie that bow on this little wrap present that TD2 was.
well, it's like how I've been saying in the community chat. If you guys are watching this and you're also in our Discord community chat, there's a server selection. If you go to chit chat, I was actually saying that they're doing something now, and it's because it wasn't massive. It was Ubisoft. They they got asked the question of like, okay, you guys are gonna be working on the next big title for Star Wars, and you know, it's new for massive, this and that. You guys are gonna start working with the Star Wars community fans. But let's talk a little bit about the past year games that you guys have, especially with Division 2. Once
Dude,
that
the
got brought,
way
once
we
that
deal with Faye Lau?
it's like okay, let's go back to Division 2. You guys made the game. Game didn't make sales. The game at first was a big hype and you had all this stuff, and then basically you're just giving everything for free in that game. You had only one title update, which was Warlords, which you
DLC,
paid
yeah.
you paid $30, and
Was it
it
30?
felt I paid $30 for it.
Okay. It's, yeah,
Um
30, 40. I don't remember.
yeah. I paid $30 for that DLC, and the only thing you got in there was a couple control points, couple missions, the Keener mission,
5
and
missions.
that's it. Like there was nothing impressive in New York. It felt like they only gave you from a they're not even half of what you paid for was in there. It was just basically $5. $5 of out of that 30 of content, that was just $5. They just put 5 missions, 5 new bosses or whatever, plus the Keener
Brand
mission.
sets, gear sets,
That's about it.
dynamics.
it wasn't fun. To be
No,
honest with
there's
you,
no new game mode.
no, it wasn't
DLC
fun.
should come with the game mode.
It not only that,
Can't hear you. Hey, Anubis, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
these random side missions. People like side missions. If it has a different side story, you can make side missions that just has a different story for, like, for example, in New York, uh, you got all these buildings that police department, fire department, all these apartments that you can get into. Like, you know something? I felt like if you really wanted to hype up Faye Lau, you're not the same agent from New York,
Right.
the one from Division One. Why didn't they make you go back through the history of what happened to Faye Lau's sister? What
Mhm.
or a story that links up to the point why that Faye went rogue, why Faye is doing this, because all you have was all these little devices and small information about why she was doing it or why that she got to the point. And it's a little spoiler right here if you haven't beat the Faye Lau season or the manhunt when she kills President Alice and you're just right there. You just sit there. It's like, well, how did it get to this point?
Yeah, we had a.
Like,
He's just on the ground already.
yeah,
No
like
cut scenes.
no,
Zero cut scenes. That mission.
yeah, no cutscene.
Zero.
You you see the president on the floor. You get an echo of her just aiming at the president, shoots at him. That's it. Now all you hear is like, oh, we have to get Faye Lau. You go to Faye Lau, you fight her. She's just trying to escape. That's it. Escape. You destroy that helicopter. I would expect like in Division One, wasn't it that you had to fight a helicopter? I couldn't even make the helicopter like also like the phase one of the boss, like
When
making
did we have
Faye
to
Lau
fight a
like
helicopter?
I think in Division One you did actually at one point fight a helicopter. At one point, I don't remember. I'll search it up later on. But if
Colonel
I'm wrong,
Bliss's
then
mission. Colonel
I
Bliss's
think
mission.
I think so. Yeah. It was a
Yeah.
helicopter you shot
Yeah.
down.
It's at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why didn't you make it that manhunt like by phases? Like first phase, you fight her like through the helicopter, she's just shooting the shit out of you with a helicopter. And then when you finally disable the helicopter, she does some badass shit and just jumps out of the helicopter, lands on that little platform that they had up there.
The helipad.
And yeah, and it becomes such a like, for example, she jumps down, she instantly fucking jams you, like jams to the point
Yeah,
that
dude.
she
No jam.
like jams you to the point that you're like you can't use your skills for a moment, like a little bit like Keener.
Yeah.
And then you make it so intense, like you should have made her have like an incredible last stand, like bang, like you wanted to feel like that's it, you're fighting Faye Lau. She's
She's the
hard as
bad
hell.
guy
Yeah,
of TD2.
I know, like badass, like you're jammed. Once you're jammed, she pulls out like for example, let's say that she pulls out one of the exotics, like one of the exotics weapons that, and you didn't expect that. Like she
Right.
has one of the exotics, and let's just say she uses the Achilles pulse on you.
Yeah.
That could have been another thing too. And let's get to the point. You wanted her to feel like she was a complete badass. Like she starts using all the tech, division tech on you, like
Mhm.
Keener, but instead of the boxes, she just throws them out.
And not only
She like
that, throw in a TD2 skill, get that fucking mobile cover, set that bitch on top of there.
yeah, but
Like I got,
modified, a
yeah,
little
of course.
modified.
But like, remember,
Like
I still got my old skills from TD1 New York days.
like I just feel like they should have just done so much for her to make the ending like very, very impressive for the community. Like they should have made something unique about that mission that when you play it, it just makes you want to play it again.
It doesn't feel like we were supposed to have this for this game. Keener was lined up, right?
Yeah, he was
That
lined
whole
up.
time. It was a whole mission for him. The mission was made brand new with all you had to fight Razorback, shitload of Black Tusk. You had the fucking aerial recon drone. You had the dog fight. You had that room before where it's just shooting out all those skills, all leading up, teasing you to the fight. Just a whole build up, that whole mission. And then you fight him, which is a task itself. Nothing like that with Faye Lau.
They also should have at least gotten to the point where in the game to make the game a little bit interesting. Like, for example, like the raids, right? You got Boomer, you got Weasel, you got all those other bosses in there that you really don't know much about them. There's just raid bosses.
Mm-hmm.
You should have put them out there in the open world to the point that they just grab your attention of like, let's say you do a side mission and for example, you got to the point that you actually encounter Morozova, you encounter Boomer. You don't kill them at that moment because you only kill them in the raid. But it just inspires agents to go out there and be like, okay, I'm doing a side mission, playing it, and this boss comes out of nowhere. You get to a point that let's just say you beat them down and they escape. You get to a point they escape, and then you get to that point where it starts adding up. Where like, why was the train made? It was gonna hit DC in a couple days and raise hell with the mortars and whatnot. But it would have added up a little story to the point that like, oh, I know who this character is. I know what they've been doing. I've been out there in the open world trying to help settlements, side missions, and helping people around New York or people around DC.
Yeah.
And you got all these bosses coming out of nowhere. The only time you're able to fight them and defeat them is in the raid. It just motivates players to go to the raid.
Yeah.
Because
little storyline to each boss.
Yeah, and it was like you get rid of discovery because in reality, discovery doesn't help you for the real exact raid.
Oh no,
you get rid of
you bad mechanics.
Yeah, you just get rid of it. Get rid of it. Add a story to it, and then once you're ready to do the raid, just give the players the option, like in the raid mode. Let's just say gives you the option, like, okay, how do you beat boss 1? Puts you in the same stage of the boss, the same mechanics you have to do, like if it was a real raid, with the same people, and you practice. It was like a practice mode. Practicing, like perfectioning it.
Yeah.
Which would help. But they don't, I get it. Too much work, too much money they have to invest.
All right.
Hey, COVID, everybody's at their house and whatnot. This, that. There's 1,000 excuses that I can just keep going. But yeah, Star Wars. It just gets to the point that
no Red Storm.
Yeah, no Red Storm. You sit there and you just look and you're like, what actually are we gonna expect for like now that to me it was more like it was forced.
Yeah,
totally. It was forced because Ubisoft said something. It wasn't because Massive had that plan for it.
It doesn't feel like it at all.
It just feels like Ubisoft is the one that's been saying, do something about it because we got asked what to expect about you guys with Star Wars, but you guys have a game that lack of content. The community is very upset. You guys nerf galore the whole game.
Jesus, that's all they know.
And you leak so much information. Like imagine in Star Wars.
Privileged agents.
Just imagine in Star Wars.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen in Star Wars? Like Star Wars community is way bigger than the Division community.
Oh, and yeah.
And when you start screwing up on a big game, we're talking about Disney now.
Yep.
Disney.
George
and
Lucas.
we know Disney don't play games.
Nah.
We know they don't play games. They do not like losing money. If they start seeing that things going bad, they're gonna kick your company out, give you a bad reputation, and go with someone else. That's what's
I,
gonna happen.
I have a question for you with TD2 and the remaining time we have with Massive. Please don't have TD3. With Massive. All right. What with this future content that they've released saying that they're going to give us, what would give you a satisfaction like, okay, y'all tried and actually y'all did more than I expected? What would be above what you would expect coming in later with the new content?
I think they need to focus on New York. Stop focusing on DC. DC has too much.
Way too
It
many
has every.
missions.
It has a lot of missions, a lot of checkpoints, a lot of bounties. You have shit ton of strongholds. Make more strongholds in New York. Make more bounties, more missions in New York. Make New York fun. You can even put incursions if you want to. That's
Wouldn't
still
hurt.
wouldn't hurt. Open if you guys have to reuse like the old game modes from Division 1, do it.
Do
Players are
it.
not gonna they're not gonna get mad about it.
We've been asking for them.
Yeah. The big dark zone, do it.
Do it.
That's just do it. Put like instead of 12 players, put it like how it was in Division 1.
24.
And if you decide to bring back like brand sets and gear sets from Division 1 to this game, do it. It's gonna be a
Hell
shit ton
yeah.
of
I'd
it's gonna
love
be
putting those builds back together.
do it. Like to be honest, you just do it. Just get to the point that
Cater to
you're
us. Because you
you're
have
you're
not.
just cater instead of the PvE players, cater to the PvP players. Do
Balance.
that. Just put that out. Stop nerfing. Buff everything. That's it. If you think something is too strong, buff everything.
Raise everything to that level.
Raise everything. You have a lot of exotics that are rarely used.
Oh
Like
yeah.
like mostly like Sweet
Diamondback.
Dreams. It's only used for basically
Melee.
raids NPCs. That's it. Put a PvP talent on it. Like saying for
Yeah.
example, when you're PvPing somebody with and you're using that gun, since it's an up and close and personal gun, let's say you melee the player with that gun, it gives you this damage increase for X like 5 seconds or maybe 10 if you want.
Mm-hmm.
That you do more damage or that it breaks like say if it's a tanky player, it breaks the player's armor or gives you something that benefits you
Mm-hmm.
to the point that players will start using different weapons. Merciless, that gun, it was good way back then, but it's difficult to make a build around it. It's too slow to shoot. I get it. It shoots 2 bullets, burst fire and whatnot. It has a big explosion, but not a lot of players use it. Chatterbox, people started using it, for basically PVE, not for PvP. I haven't seen much players using it for PvP. The Ravenous, which
Broke on
everybody's
PS5.
Ravenous. It's it's always been a slow gun, in my opinion. It's if you read the talent, it does have a amplified damage. Once it's stacked out, maxed out, it's a big plus. But there's just a lot of things that about these certain types of guns and builds that they just need better optimized, better talents, better brand set bonus. 511 in the game, you see somebody wearing that, they're crazy.
Yep.
And I think you guys need to change that. Health damage. Not a lot of people do anything about health damage. It's not like okay, if you tell me that that gear piece does health damage and it ignores the armor and it goes straight to health damage to a certain degree, a percentage. Let's just say you're shooting at the player and you're taking armor, but at the same time, you see the health damage going down little by little.
Mm-hmm.
People will start using it because they'll be like,
Yeah.
okay, this is good because then while I'm shooting at the player, his armor down, he's actually taking damage, little by little. Like it's like the bleed effect.
Exactly.
It just makes you bleed, and you start seeing that, it takes first your armor. Realistically, when you're bleeding, you're not taking armor, you're taking your freaking health.
Right.
That's the point of it.
Right.
And it would make the game a little bit more interesting. People will use 511 more, which they don't. And I just think that you guys have so many ideas out there, but asking players about their feedbacks, that it doesn't cut it, because then you're just gonna have a bunch of people saying, "Oh, I want to have a light zone. I can just go in there, not worried about getting killed by other players." And then it's like you have the summit. Summit's that the same thing. The only thing is you can't PvP, and you can select any loot except y'all.
Right.
Or y'all, and I don't know if system corruption. I'm not sure.
Never
And
farmed for it.
it's like you have to balance out this game. That's it. You have to balance it out. You have to
Balance is
focus.
top
Huh?
to make it an overall great game. It comes from balancing, but with
Yeah.
new content, new game modes.
And another thing, players are still upset with you guys with the whole copy and paste on the Resident Evil apparel.
Oh shit! Oh, I'm sure they saw it. All those posts were going out to Reddit and all that shit.
Yeah, but anyways, before we get to the point we're gonna to end this, we gotta say we want to appreciate and thanks Agent Professor for telling his story of his experiences in Division 2, with glitches, with the situation he had with the devs, the email that he sent them about what was going on through his account. We personally don't have that email because it's personal, but he stepped up here and spoke, and got to the point where it's just it's a very sensitive topic because it's his word versus them.
Right.
We don't have the
Hearsay.
proof in front. Yeah, we don't have the proof of it, but he was willing to step out there, put his face out there, his name and everything, to let every single other player out there that maybe went through the same situation just talk it out, post it out there, so they can actually go back and be like, we didn't know about this, or maybe the person who were actually exploiting it, which works in massive, says, fuck, I thought I put this under the rug. But in reality, there's someone out there just saying what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
So appreciate Agent Professor for saying what he had to say. I really enjoyed listening. I didn't talk as much today because I already heard the story about this.
Right.
I just wanted you to enjoy it and just get to the point where you actually just felt that experience that he had. Because when he told me the story, I was just laughing all the whole time, just laughing. We were making jokes about it, and then when we were level grinding, it was a whole different topic with that too.
Right.
Before we get to the ending of this, we do have future plans for IGP. We're currently still working on, from just doing recordings, we're going to start trying to do streaming with IGP with the program of StreamYards. We're still working on the tweaks with it. Still looking like to get more information.
Streams live.
Yeah.
We'll
It'll be live
interacting with the listeners as we're
Yep.
streaming a fucking
streaming.
podcast. That's some next age shit.
Yes, sir. And also we'll be also incorporating a little new things, helping the community out with builds. You're more than welcome and open to leave your opinion if you agree or disagree. We're not going to be upset about it because that's how you just keep growing in the community.
Yeah.
You take the information and grow with it and just keep going.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. Most known YouTubers, you guys are more than welcome as well. If you want to be on IGP, send us out an email, a message, or let us know in our Discord chat that Iggy might post on the comment section below or tag it on the link. You can also expect from us in the future a little bit more different content about mostly about Division. Trying to leave Massive take a little breather because these guys already got spanked already by Ubisoft, which we don't have to do as much anymore.
Oh shit, I'm about to be off this game. I got what's today, the 15th? 10
Yep.
days demo of Outriders.
And
All
yep.
doing with TD2 is coming on to hop for a raid. That's it. They're
Yep.
they've lost me in 10 days.
In 10 days. All right. Well, that's most of the information that we had for today planned. And before we conclude this, I also want to give out a little update on what's going to happen tomorrow in Division. It's saying here on their Twitter page, agents servers would be shut down for maintenance tomorrow, which we all know how that goes.
Weekly routine.
February 16th, it's going to be 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. Central time will be
2:30.
9:30. Say 9:30
2:30.
a.m. Okay. And then for PDT, it's at 12:30 a.m. Says downtime is going to be for 3 hours. It says it includes a fix for the missing volumetric fog on PlayStation 5. And when you click
What?
on the notes, it says same thing, what they just posted. Just it's gonna
What's the thing
fix
with the
something.
fog?
I don't know. It's saying missing volumetric fog on PlayStation 5.
Man, fuck that means.
That's coming from Ubi Blush.
Hmm.
Ubi Blush. There's no other information. And also, other than that, we're gonna get more of the season pass. What are they? The events.
Tomorrow's the time trial shit. Leagues.
Yeah, the league and all that. So
But the
that's
season's over.
Yeah, the season's over. Faye Lau was a complete uh uh
I can't believe they actually I would say fuck. Well, Ubisoft obviously runs that bitch, but if I'm Mass, I'm like I'm too embarrassed to take out Faye Lau like this.
yeah, it's like
Literally did it like we were predicting in the first episodes of this bitch. They literally did it. And we thought that was unbelievable at the time. We're like, nah, they wouldn't do it. Nah, that's just third grade shit.
But they did.
I can't believe that's just still. And then the Resident Evil, they made so much money of people buying that shit. And this is what I hate about the gaming world right now. Just because they made money, they consider it a success. It's not a success because people bought some shit for fucking apparel. Success is how much you keep people in the game after you release some content. Guess what? What do we have to play now?
Nothing.
There's zero until another 6 months or so? Okay. Great job.
I think after the season's done, if they don't do anything about it, it's just gonna be maintenance, small little things. Maybe they'll reuse some events like how they've been doing in Division 1.
Oh yeah, bring back those global events. You better keep those on fucking route. Man, they better keep those coming. Because at least with those, you can experiment with builds with a dry run that we're about to have with no content. At least those give us the opportunity, like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make a golden bullet. That's the one, right?
Golden bullet build.
A golden bullet build. Fucking reanimated. I was loving the chatterbox reanimated. That shit was fun as fuck. And then there's another global event that's not too bad. But anyway, it's just crazy how I don't know how they're at their offices right now giving themselves a pat on the back for this Faye Lau story.
I
It
wouldn't
is
do it state of the game.
embarrassing.
I won't
And
do it in
that's
state
why
of the
they
game.
didn't.
Don't do it. Don't do it because if once you do it, you're gonna see all the frustration, all the comments of like, why? Why did you make Faye Lau die like that? No cutscene.
No cut, not one cutscene. Ubisoft is great with cutscenes. They could have. This has to say they have zero funding, right?
Not zero funding. I just think it's like lack of interest. Of like they've gotten so many
Deservedly
negative.
so.
Yes, they got so many negative feedback from players saying that the game is trash. This is trash. You guys cater this. You guys cater that. But it's not our fault because we're just playing your game. We bought you. We paid you for your game. We paid you for the DLC. We paid for the season pass, extra bonuses stuff. We at least expected you guys to do a better job in your game, but in reality, it wasn't like that. It was just more of a. I just think it's like you guys got so burnt out, dismotivated about the game because it didn't turn out the way you wanted. You lost Red Storm.
I don't see any passion.
You lost Red Storm, which was your main guys of the whole Dark Zone, and I don't know why you guys lost them. They had their reasons for leaving. Maybe they were just too, I would say, very limited on what they could do in the game. Because maybe they had
It
a
has to be.
ton of projects that they wanted to put in the game, but you guys said no, and no because it was based off on what Ubisoft said. You know,
I would love
sometimes
to know the story of the ending of this game. Where did the focus go? Were they really trying to get Killing College with this shit?
if they did, it would have been another mess.
I
To
just
be
can't
honest,
understand releasing our biggest villain to date, other than Keener, but we knew we were gonna end his ass. But with that twist with Faye Lau, which was great fucking twist. I mean, I didn't see it coming. And then
it
all
was
of a
just
sudden,
bad.
dude, and then Kelso's like, return to DC. Let's regroup.
When you don't tell me that part because I haven't gotten to that part yet. Like
Okay, well,
return to sea, and I'm like, I want to know what happens when you
oh,
return to sea.
can I
Oh,
spoil it?
yeah, go ahead.
Zero. At the White House, no extra speech from Kelso. That's it. It's it.
Wow. She tells you come back to the White House and we can figure this out. And once you go there, there's
We need
nothing.
to regroup because remember she says, "Have you killed Faye Lau?"
No.
Oh. Okay, well, you know her fate, obviously.
Yeah, I already saw
Okay.
the whole video, whatever. Like I just got to the point that I just sat there and when I watched another player just beam her down and then no cutscene, no motivational speech, no oh she was a good agent at her prime time and then now she pulled this shit out. It's like you could have made a cutscene where when you killed her, she had in her hand her sister's bracelet or something, or necklace. Not even that.
No
No
touchy
respect.
feely, nothing.
No respect. It was like, yeah, it's just another bounty. Just get rid of her. Bye.
That's all it was. The biggest fucking villain we had to date, other than Keener releasing the shit. Faye Lau was rogue and got us rogue.
And
Man,
you know something? I prefer Schaefer's mission over Faye Lau's mission. To be honest with you. You
oh,
had
Roosevelt?
no Schaefer's. Remember when you had to fight the hunter first? After fighting the hunter, you fight him and his elite squad and everything.
Right.
I get it. They used the same map, but there was a little bit difference in the whole. Okay, you got to fight the hunter first.
Yeah.
Hunter was giving you a hard time. The dialogue was just very freaky when you were inside the haunted house.
Yeah.
And while you
Oh,
were going through there, he was that guy, that Hunter was destroying everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a Faye Lau mission. I would have expected you got the Achilles pulse from somewhere else, but you get it at the beginning of the mission. Be
First
like,
part.
yeah, they just say, oh, what's his name again? Paul Rhodes and Benitez made a little something for you. We left it right there in front of the Black Tusk. I still imagine how they got there.
Yeah.
So you open the box. You open the box and you put it on. And you're like, shit, this was so easy to get. You just get it and then you can just leave and you have it permanently.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the mission.
Yeah.
Because most people just want to do it to get that and let's go. Because that's what I did. I got it and I quit the mission.
I want to go fuck with it.
Yeah. Be honest, it's a good pulse.
Oh, I can't wait to start.
The negative side about it, if you're using it for a PvP build and you're doing just damage, you're a damage build, it's based off on how much headshot damage you have, and you have to hit that weak point. That weak point, it just amplifies the damage a little bit based off on your headshot damage.
Mm.
Versus a skill build that, for example, if you overcharge it, it puts all those weak points all over the body.
Mm.
So, and then it goes and amplifies everything.
Right.
Yesterday, it was like when I tried it out, I was like super excited about it because I used it on one of my amplification builds and it works.
Mm-hmm.
Even I'm gonna say it and it's gonna sound, it works even better than the pulse overcharge amplified
Right.
percentage.
Right.
Because in reality, that thing already just locks on, gives you a certain amount of percentage of headshot.
Right.
Now it has me to the point that I have to redo a whole bunch of stuff to my build to get to the point I'm gonna get to that I need to have a little bit of headshot damage percentage, or it all depends on everybody else around me, how much headshot damage they have. Because once they hit the target, it's just gonna go based on their headshot percentage.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got a little bit off track right there. I just wanted to say that.
That's good to know.
Yeah, pretty motivated with the new polls. Not so great with the whole Faye Lau. I did enjoy talking with Professor or just hearing him out for today. Hopefully, in the next podcast update, we'll get maybe another person, or if not, we'll start changing it a little bit with the whole builds and maybe some raid helps or something, little pointers to help out people, but be like placement focused, basically. If you're DPS, what you need for your DPS, what you do, is explaining it by detail and just showing you what you do only.
So like a walkthrough.
It's a walkthrough, but you're focusing on that specific job that you're gonna do.
Right.
Gonna be covered from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
Once that's done, excuse me. Once that's done, you just watch the video and then we'll just give you an opinion of a build, how it like show you how a good build that would help you through the raid. And just letting you know that not every single build is raid function.
Right.
So
I ran into quite a few of them this last week. It was like, ooh, we got some work to do.
It's a lot of work. I know some people don't like changing builds. I know you don't like being told that your build doesn't work. But at the long run, that's just part of the game. And
well, you gotta make a build for a particular game mode. I mean, you go into DZ, you're throwing on a DZ build. You go into a legendary, you're throwing on a legendary build. Same thing. People can't expect to go into what's supposed to be the hardest content in the game and not have a specific build for it.
Yeah.
It's just
as over the time, once you get raid experience, you feel confident that you know what you're doing, you know the mechanics. you know where you're supposed to be, what to do, then you can start bringing in those types of builds that makes it easier for you or a little bit harder for you. For example, wearing perfect glass cannon, which in raids it's really hard to sometimes have if you don't know where the NPCs spawn.
Right.
If you're
Gotta
not aware,
anticipate it.
yeah, you can. It's really hard to use that chess piece in raids because you get shot a lot.
Yeah.
You got to be very cautious, know what you're doing in order to like keep progressing in the raid. Um,
Yeah, we'll get to that though. When
yeah,
we're
we'll get to
yeah.
that. We're just gonna end it right here
Yeah.
for today's podcast. I'm gonna put out there my things and then we'll end it with yours. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I still haven't touched it. But you can follow me at Facebook at Sco-Anubis. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Sco.Anubis as well. And if you guys are interested in our Discord for the gift givers, it's going to be in the link in the bottom section of this podcast. But also, you can send us a message and we'll gladly invite you to the Discord channel to get you EBs, RAVs, and or anything you need in the game.
Yeah.
Just have a little bit of patience with us because sometimes we have a lot of volume of people asking if we're rating. I need this gun, I need this mask, I need this, that. But we'll get to that point. That's it for me.
All my shit's in the description below. All the links will be set up. Go ahead and follow. Do what you want to do. I don't give a shit. Puppy's crying in the background. I gotta get out.
All
Good
right.
talk, man. And
Yep,
thank
like
you, Professor Anubis. Oh shit, Professor, Agent Professor. Holy shit. But that was a good talk. I love this story. We'll see y'all next week. Next Wednesday. Are you ready for the P? And as always, we say peace.
peace.